And for you to come up against a man like Elder Tahar, that shows how weak you are. What?
Yeah, verse 13. Is Yahushua divided? Was Paul crucified for you? Or were ye baptized in the name of Paul? I thank Yahweh that I baptized none of you, but Crispus and Gaius, lest any should say that I had baptized in my own name, and I baptized also the household of Stephanus. Besides, I know not whether I baptized any other. For Yahushua sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with wisdom of words, lest the cross of Yahushua should be made of none effect. Yeah.
I have the microphone.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 32 and 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short.
If you're wondering who we're calling young man, we're actually calling you the young man, because it's not age that denotes wisdom. It's your actions, man. Things that you do, your spirit. And when I look at you, you have a weak spirit. When I look at you from the past to now, you're weak, man. I find you wanting, big time. You know, your candle has been blotted out a long time ago. Now, when you're around great men, for example, like Elder Tahar, Elder Gabar, Elder Rhymelab, and you're making parodies, jokes about great men like that, this is what the scripture is telling you. Don't make yourself a part of them. Calling yourself the great General High Shield 1050 bazillion Gehenna. Go ahead.
Let thy speech let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
So when you listen to your stupid radio show, that's just a radio show of buffoonery.
Rant.
It's ranting, raving. And only somebody who sold out could get something like that, man. And that be held up and kept up. Go ahead.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
And that's even too simple for you, because not only do you use too many words, you actually make lies up. You fabricate lies. You put a show on fabricating lies. This is not comedy hour at the Apollo, man. This is real life business. And you be taking it for a joke. A lot of people around you are taking it for a joke. When the missiles come and your names are on them, that's when you should be taking it for a joke, man. Go ahead, brother.
Before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor. And then I have a precept.
And I think before lightning goes thunder, these are all signs
Yeah.
to show you what's happening. You were given signs to rebuke and to repent. Everybody knows you fell out of the truth, man. Even if you want to think that you can come back, you're not coming back the right way. No man that puts his hands to the plow and then return it back is fit to enter the kingdom of heaven. You're not fit. You are found unfit. Like again, I keep saying, you are found wanting. Weighed, measured, found wanting.
If I may say this,
Go ahead, brother.
the thunder, that's the effect, man. The lightning, the brother said, that's a sign, you know. The thunder, you can't run from that shit, man. When it comes, it comes. And then it says, before a shamefaced man could go with favor. You're favored, you know. You're favored among all these guys, and you're the great radio and platform.
This big persona.
But what's the scripture? Before a shamefaced man, because you're going to be shamefaced in that day. In the kingdom, the brother's saying, you're going to be shamefaced, man. Because you're going to, shit, you're going to, you know, you're going to know that shit, man. That was some crazy shit I did.
The multitude, and there was another multitude came peaceable.
Sickness, but I'm going to bring this verse
ahead,
up. I'll get that. 2 Timothy 3 and 10. It says, but thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Mashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution.
So, can I stop you right there? Because one thing I noticed is all the brothers that are from GMS, they suffer persecution. You know? And yet, even though they suffer it, they long suffer it, you know, they still go out there, they still preach the word, they still try to do the best possible job that they can do.
If I say this, like
Go ahead.
this idiot made a video of GMS members, right, where they got afflicted. You know, some woman came up, hit her brother's camera and it broke. Someone got like hit, you know, and then he's saying that, oh no, that never happened to ICBK. ICBK never got attacked. That means you're not men of the Lord, man. That means you're set up. You know, if because we got attacked too, man.
Yep.
You know, that doesn't mean we're bitches and we're gonna take it.
No.
But some brothers get attacked, you know, and they put it in the hands of the Lord. They curse the people, man.
Yep.
You know, so when you get afflicted, that means the Most High is dealing with you. He's testing you. He's chastising you. If you're out there, nothing happens to you, man. You gotta ask.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Something's
You
wrong.
can't- you
Most
can't
High
tell
chastised them that he loved.
That's right. And you can't say the elders never got persecuted, man. They got thrown in jail.
Where were you then, my friend?
Yeah.
Where were you?
9/11.
Where were
Hiding,
you?
man.
2001, man. Where were you? Why weren't you caught up in that? Why weren't you rounded up in that? Talking about you were a terrorist and shit like that, man. Where were you? And then all of a sudden come back on the scene nice and crisp and clean. Like you never left anything.
I'm back.
Where the hell did you go to say I'm back? You have some nerve, man. I don't want to hear the word Toronto prophets come out of your mouth again, man. Or we're adding your name to our curses, man.
Oh, we say 2/3. You fit right in, man. You know.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And he didn't continue in the things he's learned. Because he keeps saying about King Masha and Arya. He doesn't follow their teachings though. Because guess what? They never thought the mark of the beast was King Solomon. Or King Solomon had the mark of the beast. Or that sleeping with a white woman was a sin. They thought the chip was the mark of the beast. And guess what? You departed from that. You know, but
Therefore you departed from the truth.
exactly. And yet you still quote their name, man. You're spitting on them, man.
Yeah.
But by doing that, you know. And I have the multiple.
And you don't, you can't get around the fact that you don't study the Hebrew and you don't study the Greek. Because if you do, then you would know that that's karagna. And that means an incision. How do you cut into and put in their Christianity? How do you cut into yourself, what's it called, Solomon, or... That stuff doesn't make any sense, man. What's up? What does IUCBK stand for again?
Israelite Universal Practical Knowledge.
Practical knowledge. So that we're for practical, logical.
They don't practice what
Exactly.
they preach.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are a set of buffoons. Really and truly. Go ahead, man.
This is 2nd Ezra 13. You want me to start from the top or just jump to the peaceable?
No, you can start at the top.
Alright, this is 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea.
And you know what? It's coming up at that time where this dream should be affecting your mind. Like, I don't know why you would sell out at this particular point in time when we were so close to the end, because you have zero time to enjoy your riches.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're ranting all the time, there's no way that you're enjoying your riches, man. Because if you sell out, you should be off in some island right now, partying it up, and forget the facade. But they have you doing this work for a reason. To drive away those undesirables, the tares. Go ahead, man.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that